that came through. Over an inch of rain in some locations, even into Philadelphia, close to an inch of rain. Wilmington, over an inch, and also close to 3/4 of an inch in Mount Holly. So again, it was a lot of rain, a lot of strong gusty winds, a lot of straight line wind damage that we saw with some of those very isolated storms that moved across the area. And then we've just been stuck with cloudy skies, as we knew we would be for pretty much the rest of our Friday. You have high pressure to the north, and this stationary boundary is just kind of sagging a little bit to the south. Now, it may drift back to the north later on this evening to provide a sprinkle or two, but for the most part, we're just going to stay dry, but on the cloudy side. And I'm sure you noticed that it's been pretty muggy and mild out there. Notice, though, areas to the north where you're closer to that high pressure system, your dew points show a little bit more of some drying out, whereas to the south and east and across parts of Delaware, you still have dew points in the 50s and the 60s, so still pretty muggy out there. And then you can see the temperature gradient where the Poconos are in the 50s. You have 70s there for Millville, for Wildwood, for 75 for Georgetown. So hour by hour forecast, again, generally quiet, maybe a spotty shower. If you are going to be heading to the Phillies game for tonight, I think you're fine. Might even get a peak of sunshine for first pitch, and temperatures mild into the 60s. Tracy.
All right, Michelle, thanks for that.
Ahead, we continue with this unsettled pattern throughout the weekend, unfortunately, and right into the start of the next work week and a little bit on Tuesday. So here's the setup that we have for this weekend. We have this boundary that's stalled to the south of us, but that will lift back to the north as a warm front on Saturday. That will provide some early morning showers. So if you're out and about early Saturday morning, running any errands or doing anything, you might run into those showers. And then we start to see it taper off. It becomes kind of nuisance and drizzly. We get into Sunday, might have a few showers areas far north and west into the morning. Then I think a gap in the rain before we see this cold front press through later on Sunday evening, and that could provide the opportunity for some heavier rain, maybe a rumble of thunder or two. It looks like the severe side of things, it stays to the south of us for now. We'll see if that changes over the weekend, and then cooler air on the backside of this. So this is tomorrow morning, showing you pockets of heavy rainfall, and then as we go through the afternoon, just some cloudy skies, maybe a lingering sprinkle there into those evening hours. Sunday morning, again, areas northwest have the best chance of seeing some of those showers and downpours before we see it ramp back up later on Sunday evening. And again, that could be heavy at times with some thunder. So how much rain over the weekend? Again, you're looking at 3/4 of an inch to potentially over an inch in some locations as the rain does move through. And also over the weekend, you're looking at a huge temperature gradient. 50s, you can see areas northwest, but look at Georgetown, look at Dover, 60s and 70s for tomorrow. Tomorrow, though, no doubt will be much, much cooler for all of us here. So if you're heading to the game, just prepare for a little bit of a breeze out of the east and also temperatures in the 50s. Now look at the temperature gradient on Sunday, even more so. You have 50s northwest, you have 60s down across the shore, and 70s across parts of southern Delaware as well. So Sunday might be a little bit warmer for some of us, and for some it will be cooler, no doubt, though each day of this weekend is going to feature rain showers. We start off the next week, as I mentioned, with early morning showers on Monday. Prepare now for the chill that is to come on Monday, but really on Tuesday, you're looking at highs only in the 40s. Right now, again, that front stalled to the south of us, going to be a quiet evening for the most part. I don't want to rule out a spotty shower or two, but again, evening in the city, you'll have the 60s. Might feel a little muggy out there with the cloudy skies. Heavier rain could move in overnight tonight, and again, temperatures will be in the 40s and the 50s. So for this series here for the Phillies, you're going to be seeing some rain showers potentially here on and off throughout both days. I think the games will be okay. And then again, morning showers on Monday, chilly conditions on Tuesday, highs only in the 40s. Gets better though, but you got to wait until later next week. Tracy.
I already packed up all the sweaters, put them away, put them under the bed. Come on.
Now we need them back.
Yes. Thanks, Michelle. Well,
wind damage. I did not see any reports for flooding, but I do want to show you the estimated rainfall totals that we've seen over the past 24 hours, and that ranges anywhere from an inch upwards of 2 inches, and even into Burlington County. Look at this, just to the southeast of Pemberton, 3.5 inches of rain. So with those thunderstorms and heavy thunderstorms, we saw just downpours, and we talked about that briefly even last week about these heavy precipitation rates that we see that can cause some flooding. And in fact, in our coastal areas. So Climate Central actually put out new information this week about people living in flood zone areas and people that are at risk now for a more severe coastal flooding that can be seen around the year 2050. Look how many this is around the entire U.S. 2.5 million people are at risk from the West Coast down across the South Central. You can see it from the Gulf Coast all the way up there along the eastern shore and then upwards there and off the coast of Maine. Again, so many people living in these flood zones and that are at risk. So you look at the places across Pennsylvania and maybe you wouldn't think about that because you're not down the shore, but this does include places like the Delaware River, the Schuylkill as well. Pennsylvania, 6,000 people will be at risk for severe coastal flooding. New Jersey makes top 3 in the list here for 324,000 people at risk by the year 2050. And for people in Delaware, 19,000 people at risk. So something to think about, something to consider. Again, Florida, New York, and New Jersey have the highest number of people and homes that are at risk. And so as we continue to see severe weather season kick up across the area, flooding will continue to be a concern for our region. Ladies.
Thanks. Now to an NBC 10 exclusive.
Over 3 weeks in a row. So nice to see that many of these levels are coming down from the severity here. You can see that severe drought across in the tan color, and then just even a smaller circle here is now an extreme drought. What you see across Cumberland County stretching into Atlantic, Cape May County as well. Nice to see Sussex County as well coming out of the severe drought. It's a little split right now. Abnormally dry, moderate drought. More rain chances ahead. Could have some of the heavier rain late Sunday night, also early Monday morning. We could see some rain showers overnight tonight as this warm front lifts back across the area, and that will provide some of the rain showers that you'll have on your Saturday, and then maybe some spotty showers in the afternoon, just some annoying drizzle. Sunday might have morning showers, mainly going to be areas to the north and west, and then by the time we get later into the afternoon, this cold front is going to slide its way on through. So let's time this out. And let's show you the showers that will push across the area here. Again, maybe some spotty showers on Saturday, Sunday morning, heavier north and west. You can see it. Then we get into Sunday evening. Again, dry spots, but then that front moves through. Heavier rainfall. Again, this carries on over into Monday. How much rain are we looking at for the next 2 days? It really depends on where you are, and neighborhood weather as well. Depends on what you're going to be seeing. So maybe half an inch to an inch of rain, and also temperature-wise tomorrow, everyone cooler than what we've experienced the past 2 days. More 50s across the metro area is what you're going to be experiencing. And again, rain chances both days of the weekend, more so Saturday morning, then annoying drizzle in the afternoon. Sunday, I think more so in the afternoon and the evening hours. But look at Sunday in the afternoon. You can see the split here, this huge temperature gradient from the 50s, areas north and west. You can see it across the southeast here for parts of South Jersey, all the way to the shore, 60s and even 70s across Delaware. So it really does depend on where you live if you're going to experience just the same as Saturday for temperatures or a slight bump up in those numbers. But everyone's seeing some morning showers for your Monday, then a cold front slides through and it just changes over. This is more like late March feel that we're going to have on Tuesday with cold air rushing in. So that spring chill, it is on the way. I mean, we had 70s yesterday, 60s today, and then just, again, a huge swap here as we go into Tuesday with 40s. High pressure and control right now kept us mostly dry, but that boundary has also kept us pretty cloudy. Might have a chance of a shower later on tonight, closer to 9, 10, 11 o'clock, but then again, overnight, a better chance for showers as well. Quick look at the 10-day to show you those shower chances wrap up on Tuesday, but at that same time, we go way down in temperatures, highs only in the 40s, Tracy.
All right, Michelle, thanks for that. Well, East
Alert weather team tracking more rain and storms in the forecast. Michelle joining us now with the latest.
And we could see more of those storms, especially as we go into Sunday night. And you talked about the damage of the wind, and also there was very heavy rainfall. I was woken up myself by just some of the storms rolling and racing across the area, over an inch of rain and even up to 2 inches of rain as those storms did come racing through. And at the beginning of the radar loop here, starting at around just 4 a.m., you can see those isolated storms that caused and triggered those severe thunderstorm warnings that packed the punch. When I looked at it this morning and I saw it, it was going at 60 to 70 miles per hour. So multiple storm reports that you can see. Again, straight line wind damage, thunderstorm gusts as well. And then you look at the hail size up to an inch in diameter, and the track of it follows right along there through Chester, across the Delaware. You could see it into South Jersey as those storms did roll on through. It is a completely different situation than what we've had, especially throughout the afternoon hours. High pressure has been control. So I don't anticipate storms for tonight, though you could have some isolated downpours and showers passing across the area as we take it into the late evening hours. So as this Phillies game gets on going here around 6:45. Good conditions here. Might even get a little bit of some sunshine to come out in the beginning of the game, guys.
Okay, Michelle, thank you.
Sunday, especially Sunday evening, and then also into Monday morning, we will see that things taper off as we go into Tuesday. But boy, does it cool down. Wait till you see the 10-day. Cloudy with showers for your Saturday morning. Then we'll start to see it just become this nuisance drizzle that will be on and off throughout the day. Mostly off, but from time to time, you're going to experience just some light showers. And then as we go into Sunday morning, mostly areas that are going to be northwest, see some showers early on, then a break, and then everyone's starting to see some showers push through as we go into the afternoon, and also for the evening hours as that cold front slides its way on through. So timing this out, if you have any errands, again, very scattered across the area, but isolated downpours, isolated showers. Here's the gap through Saturday, and then again, you might get caught in a shower from here or there. Very just disorganized across the region as we see that warm front lift. And then as we go into Sunday morning, some heavier rainfall early on around 7 a.m. If you're headed out the door to service or mass, you may be going somewhere. By Sunday evening around dinner time, there's a little bit of a lull until later Sunday night. Then you start to see that heavy rainfall push across the area. How much rain are you looking at as we go into Monday? You're looking at maybe up to an inch of rain in some locations, and then even more as we go into Monday. Everyone is going to experience cooler temperatures as we go on through the day for you for tomorrow, especially across those metro areas. You'll see temperatures into the 50s, but Phillies game for tomorrow, I think everything looks fine. I think that you get it in. High temperatures on Sunday. Bigger temperature gradient this time around. You'll start to see it as we go across the area. And again, as we get later into Sunday, you'll start to see 60s coming back into the forecast again. Here's a look at the weekend forecast.